Okay, we are live now, guys. We're live. Okay, we're live. Let me just go and share the link so we could begin immediately. All right, we're live now. We're live. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're live. All right, let me get the link and share across to people. Okay, let me share the link. Okay. Okay, let's just give like 2 more minutes and then we should begin immediately. All right, guys, I'll send the link. Let's just wait for them. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's just give them a few minutes and then we should begin from there. Okay. All right. 2 more minutes and then we would begin immediately with the training. All right. Let's just give a few people the opportunity to join. So we should have somebody in the house at least. Then the next 1 minute, we should begin with the training immediately. All right. So let's just wait. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to be doing today, let's just have everybody on board. Okay, I'm just waiting for everybody. In the next 30 seconds or so, we should be starting the class live. All right. Let's just wait. Okay, I can see one person kindly comments 111 and then we would start. Can see one person, we're already behind schedule. So if you're here, kindly comment 111 and then we'll begin with the training immediately. Today's training promises to be very, very brief, all right? Because we're going to be ending everything to all of fundamental analysis will be ending today. Okay, so I'm just going to everything about fundamental analysis we're going to be stopping today because we have covered fundamental. We're about to go into the sweetest part of cryptocurrency. Now I'm calling this sweetest because I'm a bit biased. Okay, thank you, sir. I can see you. Right, I'm calling it we're going to enter the aspect of cryptocurrency I like most to get because that is where I kind of have much, should I say, much proficiency or something like that. Right, so that is where I am going to be like. Now my area be that, you understand, technical analysis. Although I still have 1 or 2 courses I want to pay for, like I want to really get good in technical analysis, but then the little expertise I know, I think is going to be enough for you guys to start making money in cryptocurrency. So as of today, that is what we're going to be doing. All right. So since you're here, thank you, Sir Celebrity, for coming. So without any further talks, I think we're just going to go straight into the business of the day. Whenever anybody comes, they're going to join us, and then for the fact that we replay, I don't think there's any reason for us to wait behind. All right. So this is it here. Okay, let me add it. All right. So yeah, this is what we're going to be talking about today. Factors that affect fundamental analysis. Okay, like everything we have on earth here. Right, let me use this background. All right, like everything we have on earth today, you'd agree with me that at one point in time, there are certain things that can alter the result. All right, just like every human being growing, there are certain environment, there are certain factors that can make a child grow fast, and then there are certain factors that can make that can impede on the child's growth. Okay, so that is what we want to look at: what factors that affect fundamental analysis. Because no matter how good a project is, I can tell you for free that there are certain factors that if you overlook them, you're either going to regret on believing in that particular currency at first. Let me give you an instance now. Luna was a very, very good coin, but then something happened, a very strong fundamental factor happened, that because of people do not really understand this concept of fundamental analysis, they tend to overlook that particular aspect, and that is what made them to suffer greatly. I'm not trying to say that I would have I did not get affected because I knew all of these things, but then I knew that I was a bit nonchalant too. What happened to Luna is what made me to add this particular topic. If you had followed through the course outline, you understand that this particular topic is not really on the course outline. But then after observing what happened to Luna, I had to just add it so that you guys here, since I'm the one that's giving you guys the more like I'm the one introducing you guys to the crypto market, and I want you guys to be very, very cautious of all your moves. These factors would help you understand when you should probably exit the market and protect yourself, or probably when you should hold. All right. So in a part of this training, you're also going to learn how to succeed as a fundamental analysis. Aside from just exposing to the factors affecting fundamental analysis, I'm going to round up the training. I'm going to round up the section by exposing some of the factors that you can apply or in order for you to become a good fundamental analyst, something that's going to help you to gain better mastery at fundamental analysis. All right. So let's get on with the slide. All right. So the first thing we have is what the factors affecting what. Okay, let me just remove this thing. All right, the factors affecting fundamental analysis. These factors can affect fundamental. These factors can affect the fundamentals of a crypto both negatively and positively. All right, so factors in its serious sense are neutral. All right, so there are certain factors that by the time you see these factors, they can give you an idea that as this now happen like this, it means that this coin would likely increase in its potential. Okay, that is what the factor stand on a neutral ground. So sometimes it could be an indication that you're in for a big ride, and on another side again, it can be an indication that you should run away. You should be careful. You should tread carefully. Okay, so the negative aspect now is whenever you see a particular factor unfolding, then it should trigger to that. Okay, more for the fact that this thing they happen, it means I should start taking cover. I should start protecting myself. All right, that is what these factors represent. Have to the back of your mind that every factor I'm going to be talking about here is a factor that is on a neutral ground. Okay, it could once you see another happening, just look at it from a neutral perspective. So okay, this is happening like that now. It shouldn't just be negative. Look at how it could affect it positively, because like they say, another man food, another man poison. It is possible that even if it's affecting this particular coin negatively, another coin is what is greatly is affecting it what positive. Another coin is benefiting from that particular factor. So it's your ability to be neutral and then flexible in your thought is going to allow you to benefit from this kind of factors. Okay, just like whenever something is happening to Luna now, I will tell you for free that some people use what was happening in Luna to predict what was going to happen in Anchor Protocol, because Anchor Protocol, we're all on the same ecosystem. They're all in the same category. Remember, I told you something about trends, right? So the moment they discovered that one particular factor was affecting Luna, people that were good fundamental analysts say, for the fact that this is not affect Luna, it means that since this particular coin is linked to Luna, it is most likely that it is also going to be affected by this factor. So they use that knowledge to go and take a trade decision that gave them good profit on Anchor protocols, right? So that is what I'm trying to let you know that these factors can be on a neutral ground. So whenever you see a particular factor unfolding, always approach it from, okay, let me see, okay, this is the bad side, and then this is also the good side, all right? So now, whichever the case may be, you need to define your response accordingly. Like I said, if it's positive, know what to do. If it's positive, then it means you need to know what to do. If it's to buy more or probably hold your position or sell your position, fine. If it's to sell your assets and take profits, fine. Whichever the case it may be, you need to learn how to respond accordingly. All right. So let's look at these factors. Like I said, this training is not going to be long. I don't intend to waste much of your time. I want to just go straight to the point, as this is going to be the official closing ceremony for fundamental analysis. Then from tomorrow, we'll begin to enter into what technical analysis, all those charting, all those line you're seeing there. We're going to start talking about them tomorrow. So the first factor we have is natural disaster. Or I don't lie to you, natural disaster is something that if you look at it from a neutral, from a one-sided view, you think maybe natural disaster can only affect a coin negatively. That is what everybody is going to. At first, it's going to affect the coin negatively. Like when the moment Ukraine war started, the crypto market responded negatively to that particular news because of what? It's a fear of uncertainty. When war begins, like, oh boy, this one war won't start like this now. More cryptocurrency, everyone begin to fear. That panic is going to enter. So to some extent, it might affect the market negatively. But anybody that understands factors for fundamental analysis and understand that these factors are neutral can also look at the positive aspects. Now, what is the positive aspect of cryptocurrency? A lot of transactions begin to happen online. A lot of banks will begin to shut down. Are you looking at it now? Of course, by the time war starts, you don't expect people to be going to bank. And then if the banks are not functional, there's no way you can transact with money. All right? But then if you have an idea of cryptocurrency, you can still transact with money. So if you can look at the natural disaster now, like let's look at sorry, I was talking about war when I was sorry guys, sorry for I was trying to confuse you guys. I was actually using the Ukraine war. I was planning war instead of natural disaster. But then since I already started explaining natural war, let me just continue. So I'm talking about the war that's happening between Ukraine and Russia. So when it started, there was a fear in the market. The crypto market responded It responded to that particular war. Okay, why did it respond? People got to feel like, Kai, this one way and war don't stop now. This crypto market is deep because Ukraine are kind of they are actively buying cryptocurrency. Russia, they actually have a mining site, a Bitcoin mining site there. So for the fact that there's war, it means people began to feel like the negative impact on cryptocurrency. But then people that are smart began to look at at the positive aspect of that particular war. How did they look at it? Where we will start? You saw how people were donating. You cannot donate money via bank account. No. Because of the banks are shut down. So how were people able to donate to the cause of the war via cryptocurrency? It led to more adoption of cryptocurrency. Are you looking at it now? It led to more adoption of crypto. People began to see the usefulness of cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, that time itself, if a country want to support cryptocurrency, support Ukraine, they know that if they openly declare their support, maybe if Russia discover that these people supported Ukraine, they might become enemies to Russia. But because of the decentralized nature of cryptocurrency, you can send money and nobody's going to know where that money is coming from. People were just funding Ukraine, and Russia were not knowing who was funding them. Nobody knew if USA funded Russia. Nobody knew if USA funded Ukraine. Sorry, nobody knew if Nigeria funded. Although I don't know, Nigeria does not use Bitcoin, so nobody. But people were sending money to Ukraine, and then nobody knew where those money were coming from. But Ukraine were getting the support. That was the beauty of cryptocurrency, right? So look at that particular bit of cryptocurrency made people began to see the benefit of cryptocurrency. If it were finance now, because of those banks have been shut down now, the Ukraine would not have been able to access those funds. Even if they send the fund, for them to be able to come out and go and access those funds was impossible. Because of course, once war is coming, the way the opposition party will be like, they will start attacking some of your major infrastructure, your banks, so that they will cripple your economy. Well, with the help of cryptocurrency, people began to saw the beauty of cryptocurrency because it can help in situations like this. So what to some extent can affect the fundamental of a coin? If it is, let's assume that, okay, let's take it, for example, now China. Now China has one of the biggest crypto mining company. Like they are one of the biggest stakeholders in cryptocurrency in the entire crypto market. Imagine there's war happening in China today. Trust me, China would shut down its mining cryptocurrency. And as a result of that particular news, the war happening in China is going to affect the crypto market. Because China, I think after USD, I think China is the next biggest economy that operates in cryptocurrency, that allows cryptocurrency. That is why if China want to mess people up, they'll just come and say they want to ban cryptocurrency. By the time China said they want to ban cryptocurrency, the whole market will shake. By the time US said they want to ban cryptocurrency because of their maybe they want to experience a war. See, their economy on a standstill, and then for the fact that their economy is on a standstill, the whole crypto market will be on a standstill. Bitcoin will start to dip. No matter the fundamentals saying this coin is going to grow, no matter what, but because of that war on its own, that rumor of war, Bitcoin is going to what? Is going to be affected greatly. That is the effect of what? The effect of war on any cryptocurrency. So let's assume that Nigeria developed a particular coin that is gaining traction. If they come and discover that Nigeria is about to experience war, they know that once Nigeria begins to experience war, that particular project that is in Nigeria now will not be able to, the infrastructure is going to be destroyed. And for the fact that the infrastructure is destroyed, people want to protect their money. See, if your cryptocurrency they crash, people don't want, no matter as people love you, they don't want to crash with you. They will begin to take profit simply because of that war that's happening in your country. So they will sell their profit and then they will allow your cryptocurrency to drop. So if you can look at it, in as much as war is more like a negative factor affecting fundamental analysis, it can still be what a positive factor. Listen, that to start creating awareness. Okay, even though there was war, we could not go to our bank, we could use cryptocurrency to still transact. That is part of the awareness we're talking about. Okay, that is people. It is exposing people to the benefit of cryptocurrency. All right. Now, natural disaster. Now, let's look at the biggest natural disaster that happened, COVID-19. Because of course, a natural disaster should, no matter what we call it, it's a natural disaster. Okay. By the time natural disaster happens, trust me, there's going to be a shutdown in cryptocurrency. There's going to be a shutdown because economies will be shut down. Then once economy is shut down, because of course, what used to make cryptocurrency to thrive is when people are using cryptocurrency to perform basic economic activities. Now, once economic is shut down as a result of natural disaster, now there will not be much uses for cryptocurrency. All right. Now let me give you another idea again. There's this particular aspect of cryptocurrency called this stream it. Now the idea of that stream it was more like just the way I'm streaming this video now, you're watching me now, but there's a cryptocurrency that has this particular innovation. It wants to bring about an innovation that can enable people to stream on the blockchain, to stream live video on the blockchain. Now, in the case of COVID-19, and that particular crypto got a lot of traction. Why? Because of what? People began to stay at home. People could not go to work, so they needed to find a way to start streaming from office, to start streaming from home. So that idea now made that particular coin to gain traction. So whenever you discover that there's a natural disaster, look at it. Which particular cryptocurrency can thrive well in this natural disaster? For example, now look at Zoom. The Zoom, I don't know if you know of Zoom. Zoom is a presentation company that helps you to COVID-19 started. That was when Zoom began to gain massive traction. Why did Zoom gain massive traction? Because of it brought about an innovation that could function in that natural disaster. It brought about a solution. So the moment people were smart, although Zoom is not really a cryptocurrency, but Zoom is a stock. So the moment people discover, so way people cannot go out and people need to attend meeting. What would they use to attend meeting? They need a virtual platform. And what's that virtual platform? Zoom. And then they went and looked at it. Zoom had a very, very low market cap. What did they do? They began to buy Zoom stock. And I can tell that Zoom stock rose by almost 14,000%. Zoom rose very, very well. Why? Because of what? Because of that natural disaster provided an atmosphere for it to gain massive traction. As a result, people that were saying, COVID-19 has brought the end. People made most money in COVID-19 from those that bought Zoom stock. Even Amazon, just because of as it's called, people could not really go to bookstore to go and buy books, and people began to order online. So platforms like that, they utilize all these natural disasters and to gain more traction for themselves. So having this at the back of your mind, a natural disaster is about to happen. Take your time and pay attention to the news. Which particular cryptocurrency is bringing a solution that can thrive well in this natural disaster? Once you discover that, just like Zoom, see, let me tell you about, not me, I never even thought of Zoom. But when we started hearing about Zoom, but that's when people have already invested, people that were futuristic, people that understand the concept of fundamental analysis. The moment a natural disaster hits, the moment they discover, this factor has hit, let's go and look at it. What they just sat down and ask themselves, what would this thing bring about? What problem would this thing bring about? Once they were able to identify the problem, they were able to identify the cryptocurrency that provides a solution. As such, they put their money there. Okay, that is exactly what happens. Natural disaster began, in as much as it made a lot of people would think maybe it's going to make cryptocurrency to crash, but people will be like it's making cryptocurrency to crash at the same time. But then there's a particular industry, a particular project that is suggesting that you can stream on the blockchain, you can watch videos on the blockchain. So that particular project gained traction even in the natural disaster. So in situations like that, once you discover that kind of coin, what you're going to use to respond, your response is to buy more, not to sell. And then if you discover that, a particular cryptocurrency, let's assume now, like Wakanda, let's assume Wakanda was made in Nigeria. And of course, you discover that the headquarters of Wakanda is in Nigeria. And then all of a sudden, you discover that there's a war in Nigeria. Of course, once there's war in Nigeria, it means that people will not be able to go to that our Wakanda Inu will not be able to go to office. As a result, Wakanda Inu's market transaction is going to reduce greatly. That is a fundamental factor that's going to notify that guy begin to sell your Wakanda Inu. In as much as you believe in the crypto, in as much as you know that this cryptocurrency is a good cryptocurrency, but at that particular moment, some certain factors are beginning to gain. They begin to influence the outcome of that particular the prospect of that particular cryptocurrency. All right. So that is how natural disaster and war affect the particular cryptocurrency. Now, what is the next one now? Innovation and technology. Trust me, what is going to make, if by the time metaverse begin to gain massive traction, the only thing that's responsible for giving that traction is because of what? Technology. The advent of technology is what is making metaverse to gain traction today. The advent of technology, what is making NFT to gain traction today. So always be futuristic. Look at the future. Look at the innovation that come into the industry. Ask yourself, this innovation that's coming now, what is most likely going to be the next biggest innovation that's going to come around? Okay. But then by the time this innovation begin to come now, then you need to begin to ask yourself, which particular cryptocurrency can function this innovation now? When people were talking about metaverse now, let me show you how NFTs began to gain traction. When people were talking about metaverse, okay, people begin to communicate in metaverse, people began to talk. If people are going to communicate in the metaverse, it means people needed an avatar. And what's an avatar? An avatar is just like a profile. How like right now, you know how avatar means now? Maybe they'll say maybe you want to play a game, they'll say choose your character, a character. So people began to understand that, even in this metaverse, people will need characters. People will need clothes. People will need what? A market store they can go and be buying avatars. So people began to bring innovation. Like look at Stipend. Stipend begin to bring ideas of canvas, because in the metaverse you will need to buy shoe. In the metaverse you need to buy clothes. So those particular projects began to profile solution like that. So as innovation is going towards the advance of metaverse, of technology now, people began to bring innovation that's going to help to fit into that particular technology. Before now, if metaverse was yet to come into traction, nobody's going to pay attention to Stipend. Nobody's going to say, "It's want make I go buy shoe." Look at people that were buying land in the metaverse. Why are they buying that land in the metaverse? Because they know that a time would come whereby people that like. Please, if you get what I'm saying, please let me know in the comment section. Let me know that you really understand what I'm saying. Just drop a fireball in the comment section, because I want to really understand. I want to really believe that you get what I'm saying here. Okay, like innovation, technology affects fundamentals of a coin. Maybe a coin might have been in existence for long ago, but nobody's going to pay attention to it. But the moment that people begin to say, metaverse is coming, we're going to begin to live in a virtual world. Maybe this Stipend, if you look at it, Stipend has been existing for a long time, but it was yet to gain massive traction. Why was it yet to gain massive traction? Because people have not yet seen the innovation that's yet to come to usher in that technology. But because of the idea of metaverse began to come, people began to live in the virtual world. People begin to wear clothes in the virtual world. Of course, if you have been playing game before, you understand that sometimes you might be playing game and then they'll tell you to play game and then go and get money to go and buy this particular attire. All right. So now that particular idea is what made Stipend start gaining massive traction. So innovation now is going to lead to it's something that you should consider. Whenever I discover a new technology about to come on board, look at it. Which particular? Just look at pay attention to that. See, sometimes, but you might not get all of these innovations at once. So, right? It's not almost that the innovation just come. You need to actually sit down and then ask yourself, at what point can I apply this innovation now? Ask yourself. Look at the categories of blockchain that's happening. I'm just using Stipend for an example because it was the last innovation that really would gain traction. It made people a lot of money. People were talking about metaverse. In as much as people were saying, we could go buy metaverse coin. Somebody sat down and say, this metaverse coin, for this metaverse, we go need to wear clothes for this metaverse. We need to buy what? Our clothes. We need to upgrade our jersey. We need to upgrade our shoes. So that particular coin began to bring in those kind of innovation in the blockchain. So those are factors that now, if you look at it now, those particular factors is going to make the cryptocurrency to gain more traction. As a result, you need to be buying more in instances like that. All right. So these are factors that would affect fundamental analysis. All right. Now, what is the next factor that affects fundamental analysis? The misconduct of a team of project developers. See, let me tell you something. A cryptocurrency can be very, very good. Please, if you can hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, drop a comment in the comment section. So I hope I'm not talking to myself here. All right. So now, another factor that can affect the fundamentals of a coin is the misconduct of a team or project developers. Now, it's supposed to be either misconduct or proper. Let's say, like, look at what happened to Luna now. What really caused Luna to crash was the misconduct of one person in the team, the founder. The founder went and be bragging, went and be dragging with other stakeholders, other whales. As a result, they feel like, okay, so this, and he did it openly. If you're following the news, you discover that this guy actually did it openly. And then these people began to comment on it and they say, okay, it's just like they were threatening him already. So by the time you're holding Luna and then you saw that kind of threat, Omo, not time to run. Because I tell you that people understand this threat. People that read the threat, they understood what it was going to happen. They were open, they were flexible in their thoughts. Okay, they were flexible in their thought. As a result, the misconduct of one particular person, they ran away. They pulled out from that particular. Okay, this misconduct is something that is very, is going to really rub off on the fundamentals of that particular coin. Luna was good, but because of what that man did, it was what led to the crash of Luna. Let me give you a clear instance too. Imagine they say Dangote today, you just discover that tomorrow they tell that Dangote, you discover that they say Dangote used to kill people. Okay, thank you, sir. All right, I can see you. All right, thank you. Now, imagine people, they'll tell you that Dangote, they'll say, you just hear one day on the news, they say Dangote buried 500 heads under his company. That's why his company is succeeding today. Do you think that Dangote will still have that kind of shares? People begin to run. Why? Because of what? That reputation has been stained. There's a misconduct in the affairs of one of the developers. So by the time you buy a particular cryptocurrency, put it on your watch list. Every now and then be checking for news concerning that particular project, so you don't get caught up unaware. Always look out for misconduct of the team or the project developers. Has there been any mistake? Has these people have they done any, like, have they been caught up in any fraudulent activity like that? Just imagine that they say Obi Kubana, and the way Obi Kubana is getting traction, he's selling his, what the mother is doing self, man. He's selling his drink, he's getting traction, and then all of a sudden you just hear they say, Obi Kubana and Yahoo boy. I tell you that his company would crash. Why? Because of what? His reputation has been stained. And of course, he's going to rub off on his project. It's the same thing that happens. Maybe where you discover, okay, a particular project, and you discover that maybe somebody just did something remarkable. Let's assume that, okay, there's this particular project that here say this particular person, he built so infrastructure to help cater for this particular need. And then the people begin, that's why I see sometimes, but all these politicians, when they want to gain the heart of the masses, they'll now go and do one small project in the community, and then the sham does start saying, this politician, he don't do so. People begin to like that politician. Why? Because of what? He has done something good. So in as much as misconduct leads to the death of a particular cryptocurrency asset, so also was what proper, should I say proper conduct now leads to an increase in the traction of that particular cryptocurrency. So the moment you're observing a particular cryptocurrency, then you discover, okay, the founder has done something remarkable. Put an eye on that particular coin. The coin is most likely going to start gaining traction. All right, you're going to start getting traction. Imagine they say the owner of Wakanda, just imagine they say the owner of Wakanda had a meeting with Elon Musk to do something. But by the time people see the owner of Wakanda has gone to have a meeting with Elon Musk, people like, this guy, he's actually planning good things for his coin. People begin to buy that particular coin. That is factors affecting fundamental analysis. Okay, so you need to pay attention to all of this. Is the misconduct and the proper conduct of the team managers. If you discover, okay, you're holding this particular coin, and then a news comes out that these people have done something wrong, put you, don't be nonchalant, because if you're nonchalant, you end up losing your money. It's not just enough to just buy a cryptocurrency and leave it in your wallet there. No, if you believe in that particular coin, even if the coin is good, from time to time, be checking the cryptocurrency. Okay, be checking on what is happening in the ecosystem. So what is the last factor we need to look at today? Is what is Fed. What is Fed means? What? Federal Capital Reserve. Okay, Federal, is it federal? Yeah, what this Fed means, just like it's the central bank of USA, and that's one of the most strongest financial institutions we have in the world today. So anytime that Fed want to regulate inflation, anytime there is inflation in the market, in the entire market now, the federal government, that's the central bank of USA, would want to bring about what policy that's going to help regulate inflation. Now, each of these policies will affect the cryptocurrency market. That is why you always hear, Fed want to have meeting. By the time Fed want to have meeting, pay attention to that meeting. Pay attention. This particular one is something that is the kind of policy that will bring about, but sometimes it varies. Sometimes the policy might favor cryptocurrency, sometimes the policy might not favor cryptocurrency. Maybe when the Fed discovered that, okay, cryptocurrency is gaining massive traction, cryptocurrency is leading to inflation, people are beginning to get overly rich, inflation is about to happen, the Fed will now bring about a policy to regulate cryptocurrency. Once the federal government the central bank of USA begins to bring out such kind of news, have it at the back of your mind, that's going to create a fear in people. Now, once there's a fear in people, the market is most likely to dip. Right? That is why if you're anytime cryptocurrency is about, people begin to fear, the fear and greed index of cryptocurrency begins to drop. Go and look at it. It's either there's what, there's a federal government meeting. There's the United States of America had a meeting. All right. But once they have a meeting now, whatever they post under their meeting now will determine if cryptocurrency is going to go up or is going to go lower. Okay. So always pay attention to the information dropped by what? By Fed. And where do you get all of this information? You get what? On Twitter. Okay. So just be very, very conversant, be open-minded in cryptocurrency. Because this information, no matter how good a coin is, but if you just said that Fed say, Kai, that Bitcoin is good, they want to regulate Bitcoin. Once that information comes, want to regulate Bitcoin, it's going to cause a fear, and people will say, this way federal government want to regulate Bitcoin, doesn't mean that Bitcoin is not good. So that kind of information is going to make people begin to become scared in cryptocurrency. As a result, they begin to sell off their assets, and then it leads to a dip. So that is a factor affecting fundamental analysis. All right. So always pay attention to Fed news. Always pay attention to it. All right. So let's look at the next thing for today, and then we'll call it a day. All right. How to succeed as a fundamental analyst. All right. This is I'm just going to run through it. Number one, practice. As a hunter, remember, fundamental analysis is your ability to go into the coin market cap and look for coins that have good potentials. As a hunter, I will tell you for free, you cannot just wake up one day and go into the market and into the bush and go and catch an antelope. No, you must practice how to position. You must practice how to set your traps. You must practice. So you cannot be a good fundamental analyst if you do not practice. Every time, make it a point of this. Okay, to this week, I'm going to study 5 coins. Even if it's 1 coin a day, just go on your coin market, just be strolling so that you can familiarize yourself with white paper, familiarize yourself with some of these factors you need to consider before taking a particular cryptocurrency project. It's when you familiarize yourself with a particular cryptocurrency project that you're going to know how to identify a good project. And how do you practice? If you want to learn how to practice, but let me give you the way I do my own. Go and look for crypto projects that are already good, like crypto projects that are already gaining massive traction. Go and read their white paper. All right, go and read their white paper, because it's just like how I say it now. Since they are good, just look at what's making them good. Because anything that's making them good is other crypto projects will try to emulate from them. Like, I've studied Bitcoin white paper, I've studied what Bitcoin is doing, and then anytime I want to go and look at a particular project, I'm going to be trying to compare to with Bitcoin. I've studied BNB, I've studied AXZ. Anything that once I see a particular cryptocurrency that I like, I'll try to look at it. I'll try to compare to with this particular cryptocurrency that I've already gotten with massive traction. But how do I do it? It's because of practice. That is me practicing. So always practice if you want to become a good fundamental analyst. All right. So what is the next now? Pay attention to news and trend. Remember, I told you that all of this information I said, like war, natural disaster, innovation, all of this is going to be carried by the news. All right. So how do you know a recent news is on Twitter? See, in as much as you can go on Google and just search crypto news, the easiest way to get crypto news on Twitter, just go on your search button and put #crypto. You can see there. Just put #crypto. Once you put #crypto, anybody that has made any news on cryptocurrency, you're going to see there on Twitter. Just take your time and then go. Just through. You don't need to read everything. Just be strolling. Anyone that catches you, see anyone that has more likes, anyone that has more retweets, look at it. If it's something that calls your attention, you pay attention to it. Maybe you're holding it, but let's say you're holding AXZ now. How do you now find news on AXZ? Just go on Twitter and then search $AXZ. That's why I put this $ asset here. So you put the name of the asset you're currently studying, right? So let's say you're studying Shiba Inu now. You want to see what's happening in Shiba Inu. Just put this $Shiba. By the time you search it, you're going to see everything people are saying about Shiba. And then if there's any news of misconduct, if there's any news that's going to make Shiba to dump, you're going to see it there. If there's any news that's going to make Shiba to pump, you're going to see there. If Elon Musk has said anything about Shiba Inu, you're going to see that people begin to make tweet about it. So this is where you conduct good analysis. This is how you become a very, very good fundamental analyst. Pay attention to news and trend. Like I said, always, like for example, sometimes cryptocurrency might be trending number 1. Go and see why is cryptocurrency trending. Like people that were not, let me show you why this is very important. If had there been people who held Luna, were very conscious of this thing, but they wouldn't have lost in Luna. Because I tell you that when Luna was at $100, when Luna was at $70, that was when that particular guy made that particular news. And then people began to tweet that this thing is going to make Luna to crash. People began to make tweet about it. But because of people that had Luna were nonchalant, they were not really being up to date with the news happening around the ecosystem. They were nonchalant, so they still held their position. And then that was what put them in deep shit. But those that actually been checking the news, they just went and then they just go and put #Luna. They not start saying, oh boy, what did happen? See, people don't talk bad about Luna, oh boy. Now, see, I'm not saying you should actually allow that to enter your head, because sometimes they might pay some influencers to just create bad news about a particular coin. But when you discover that the thing is beginning to get too much, When you discover that big men are beginning to say bad things about Luna, pack your load and run. When you discover that big people are about to say bad things about that particular coin you're holding, pack your load and run. So that is how you gain information about news and trend. Always search hashtag crypto. Every news content concerning crypto, you're going to see it there. Hashtag the dollar sign the cryptocurrency you want to find. Maybe if you want to find Luna, if you want to search about it, say hashtag BTC. No, not hashtag, sorry. This dollar sign BTC. You're going to see everybody that's been talking about BTC, you're going to see there. Any coin you're studying, just put the hashtag. Let's say you look at this particular coin, you like the coin, and then you want to know what people are talking about the coin, what people are saying. Go on Twitter, say dollar sign, the name of the coin, the shortcut, the abbreviation of the coin. You go to everything people are talking. If the sentiments are bullish, you go ahead and buy it. If the sentiments are bearish, you be careful. All right. So the next thing to do is learn every day, like learn every see. As I speak to you now, I just finished watching a YouTube video on how to study Fed. This Fed I was telling you about. If you discover I did not really say much about Fed, why? Because of what? Like I told you guys, I'm not really a good fundamental analyst. Although I have, I still have, see, like I tell you, fundamental analysis can rubbish your technical analysis. So at one point, I need to actually be refreshing your mind about what fundamental analysis. You need to be paying attention to some of this news. Right? So I was actually reading about Fed, even as I spoke to you now. I was reading about Fed because I want to understand how the Fed control inflation. I want to understand how the Fed affects, how the decision affects crypto market. So that by tomorrow now, I see that Fed are beginning to drop one news. Before instead of me waiting for people to tell me what to do, I already know what to do. Simply because of what I've been studying. You need to study what macro analysis. I'm going to be sharing a Twitter handle for you guys today. If you have time, I want you to start seeing how you can start studying that particular guy's YouTube channel. His videos are boring and long. I want to lie to you, his videos are boring. Sometimes I feel watch, I go sleep, but they carry massive value. Since when Bitcoin was at $40K, this guy was predicting that Bitcoin is going to go to $17. As Bitcoin also gotten $17 now, simply because of what he understood macro analysis, and macro analysis has a lot to do with fundamental analysis. The guy is actually a good technical analysis, but then he influences what macro, and then macro analysis has to do with fundamental analysis. So this guy is very, very good. Trader X, I'm going to share his, and later this lesson, I'm going to share his YouTube handle and then his Twitter handle to you guys, so that you can follow him at your spare time, instead of you to go and be checking what the video is posting. Whenever you're free, just take your time and then start going through these platforms so that you can understand what you need to do at every given point in time. Okay, so learn every day. If you learn every day, like watch YouTube videos. See, sometimes, but you might watch a YouTube video now, you might not understand it. Watch it again. See, personally, I've watched some YouTube video like 6 times. 6 times, just because I'm looking for one particular thing. 6 times, I'm telling you, I'll watch it now. I'll get one thing, but I'm yet to understand this particular thing. I'll watch it again. Take my Bible and be jotting down, simply because I want to master this thing. I'm intentional about this thing. So always learn every day. Right? So the next thing you need to do is what? Is follow Who Know Road. So let me tell you something. There was a time Chris Andy posted about AXZ. He was talking about it casually. No, these people, they are very, very smart. They know how to drop alpha signals. If you just see any, maybe you're following Chris, I don't say it's good for you to follow the top players in this industry. Once you call Chris Annie, just say something about this particular coin. There's one coin called BFI. BFI in Chris Annie, one of Chris Annie's, I think was the last Sunday webinar. He mentioned the coin about BFI. You know, when he mentioned BFI, before you know, BFI did 20% in profit, 20%. Oh boy. This man does not do, they do not just mention any coin. Like once you see that they mention coin, but go and look at that particular coin. I'm telling you, they are giving you what signal. I'm not saying you should look at it every time, but sometimes you just need to understand that it is a very, very good thing. It's a very, very good thing to follow Who Know Road. This man they're not already done for the industry. They don't already sabi crypto well. So by the time they mention a particular cryptocurrency, follow them. If Elon Musk just tweet about a coin, see, let me tell you something. If Elon Musk tweet about a coin, but even if the coin is a shit coin, the coin will pump. Because of what people have, because of his influence. So follow Who Know Road, because they have already seen something that you do not see. They already have the resources to conduct some analysis you cannot conduct. Okay, so follow Who Know Road. It's very, very important. Look at all those small, all those big boys there. Like there was time that they were talking about, which company were they talking about? FTM, Phantom. I discovered that all of those big boys, they began to change their name. This one say Danny Phantom. This one say Mrs. Phantom. I say, what this food? They say they have seen something in this Phantom. Before I knew it, I went and buy Phantom. And what happened? Phantom began to pump. I was like, okay. I was following Who Know Road. I was conducting my analysis, but then they were helping me to narrow down my analysis. Once I like, for example, I'll go and check Chris Annie, who is Chris Annie following? If Chris Annie is following a particular project, because sometimes by the time they check the particular coin, then they check their Twitter handle, they will follow that particular project handle so that they can be getting information from that from that cryptocurrency. By the time I discover that Chris Annie is following a particular coin, I'll begin to pay attention to that particular coin. Why? Because I know that they're not just following that particular coin for nothing. They have seen something I did not see. So learn to always follow who know road. Okay, because they're already there before you, so they know information about before you. Okay, so always follow who know road. Then the next one is what? Do not rely 100% on FA. Crypto is a game of uncertainties. In as much as crypto innovation, crypto fundamental analysis will tell you follow a coin that has good prospect, follow a coin that has this. Not see, cryptocurrency is a game of chance. I'm not gonna lie you. Always after the back of that anything can happen. Whoever knew that Luna is going to rock pool? Whoever knew? Nobody knew. But because of how uncertain this crypto market is, that is what is making big. See, people that lose money in Luna, but they just felt like this coin too good, go rock pool. They were not willing to accept the fact that the coin was rock pooling. At $1, they were still buying that. This coin at 0 point, they were still buying, and then the coin rock pooled. They forgot that the market is a game of uncertainty. See, no matter the conviction you have in the cryptocurrency, no matter how you believe in that asset, always give room for the fact that it can disappoint you. Okay, always give room for that particular word, that particular thought. If not, you end up being greatly disappointed. Not be your father get the market. So far as it's not your father that have the coin, don't trust a man with any. Yeah, you can trust them to some extent, but then once you discover that something has happened, maybe you discover that a particular factor has happened, maybe the founder has fucked up. Don't say because of the founder don't fuck up, the coin is too good to forget it. It can occur because look at what Luna put. Just a small mistake was what tripped Luna off. Okay, so always have the document that what cryptocurrency is a game of uncertainties. Don't just say I have conducted analysis. This coin must go to $1,000. Bam, you've took your stand. You're not going to no. Be flexible with your stance. Okay. Then the last thing we have for today is what? Work as a team. Right? Work as a team. I look forward to the time whereby I want to conduct an analysis. I say, okay, guys, this week let us conduct. I want us to look at 20 coins. I say, okay, Mr. Vincent, you look at this coin. Me, I'll look at this coin. Mr. Boniface, look at this particular coin. Let all of us share. Let us divide the work for ourselves. So by the time we look at it, we should come and report on the group chat. Let the group chat become like our home. Let's work as a team. By the time I look at it, I'll say, guys, okay, see what I've seen. Look at the coin too. Because sometimes fundamental analysis, but you need other eyes to help you see it. Because sometimes your sentiment might make you overlook something. But then if you look at, just like saying, imagine you went to work and then you saw a fine woman and then you don't come and tell your friends, oh my guys, I see one fine girl, and then your friend now saw the girl and say, this girl, I don't know her, she not wearing, I've seen her sleeping around people. Would you still go for that particular girl? No. Sometimes it might be that your friend does not like the girl, that one day, but it's possible that sometimes your friend has seen that particular girl, he has seen the character of that particular girl, so he's warning you beforehand. So that is the idea of working in team. If you find a particular crypto asset, don't just allow yourself just go to the crypto asset. Come and share it with your team. That's what I want you to build. I want you guys to build a team spirit. I know it's not going to happen overnight, but then as we keep on going, I want to start seeing an aspect where if you conduct analysis, if you look at a particular coin, say, okay, guys, see this particular coin, you guys help me look at it. And then I'll look at it, come and tell you guys what I found out. If I like it, yes. If I don't like it, see the reason. If I like it, here are my reasons. I also do my own. Don't worry, time will come about. Let us finish this method session. That's when we'll start doing correct teamwork here. We'll give ourselves work and then I'll expect you guys to come and report back to me. Okay, and then you guys we'll look at it and then we'll see how we could grow together. Teamwork is very, very important. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this section, right? So if you got value today, if you're still with me, kindly drop a fireball and then we'll call it a day. And then if you have any question, please let's go to the group chat and then let's ask it. All right. Okay. Sorry. Okay, if you're with me, if you got value, please drop a fireball and then we'll call it today. We are done for today's section. Okay, so by tomorrow now we're going to start talking about technical analysis. We'll start going into all those charting, support and resistance, all of those stuff like that. I'm going to teach you guys how you can understand it very, very well. So if you got value today, if you understood what I said today, kindly drop a fireball and then we'll call it a day. Okay, I can see 2 people with us here. All right, so I'm looking, my eyes are on the comment section. Then once I just see 1 person, we'll just call it a day. All right, so I'm just waiting for 1 fireball and then that will be all. Okay. All right, thank you for staying to the end. All right, celebrate you. Okay, I'm just looking. Once I just get 1 person, we'll just call it a day. Okay, I don't really want this video to be long. All right, so I'm just looking the next. Let me see. All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You've always been here. I celebrate you, sir. I celebrate you. Celebrate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so with this, I think we're done with the session. If you have any question, do well to always. If you don't ask in the group chat, you can ask me in my DM. Okay, it's not necessarily just on the group chat. Maybe if you feel it's a personal question, you can come to my DM and then I'll respond to you accordingly. All right. So see you guys tomorrow. Right. Bye.